What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to HardCap, joined once again by Wing It.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in for more Guilty Gear.
So this time we're playing Guilty Gear Strive, correct?
Yes, this is Guilty Gear Strive, the actual popular one that people bought.
Ah, interesting. So we're going to play some of this. I have no idea what Wing It has in store for us. Wing It's the one driving the car again,
Again.
playing the game.
I think we're gonna play a.b.a. One of the few other characters I actually have learned currently, wanted to learn to play. They were on my list. As much as Funny Gun and Butt Lady, I think I'm gonna stick with a.b.a. Let's play some a.b.a. Play very obsessive girl over her key husband, which is a very interesting thing to describe. That yes, you cannot fix this crazy woman. She already has her husband. Leave her alone. Just don't touch her or her key.
Did I see that it says that she's a homunculus?
Yes.
Interesting.
She also
She's
is wearing.
bleeding.
Yeah, she's bleeding. That's also partially because of plus R, where originally Paracelsus kind of needed blood and was just a devil axe who wanted to fight strong opponents and just get blood. So I was like, hey, we couldn't find food. Here's my blood husband. Come here.
Oh.
Oh.
Does she feed the key like blood?
Yeah, yeah, she used to. Oh fuck, combos are weird. Fucking plus it's Strive again. What? Get me out of here.
Hey, you just played a different game in the series, and now it's a little bit different.
Yep.
It's like going from melee to ultimate. Nice.
Let's go.
Good job.
Oh fuck, it's on 2 rounds. Okay, that's not too bad. I was keeping it just on 1 round to go faster. Whee! Nope, come on, get out. Come here!
Oh, you're approaching me? Can't beat the shit out of you without getting any closer.
Exactly.
Oops, she's
Friend!
dead. Oh, no, new setting.
Friend! That's not super. Is it go forward twice? Heavy slash? I don't remember her other super. Come here. There we go.
Nice breeze.
So it is.
And then more random lore.
Lovely sea, too.
Yep, just their terrible, terrible relationship.
A blue so clear, you can
Peer into its
So this was a human that was turned into a keyblade, like.
The homunculus. No, the key over there was just always a devil weapon. It's effectively would take the form of whoever was trying to hey, pick me up and use me as what their greatest desire. And a.b.a.'s was keys.
Apologies. I'll take
Interesting.
Because she was effectively locked alone for 10 years or whatever, and for her, keys represented freedom, and that became her object of obsession. And then Paracelsus exists.
Interesting.
Yeah. We're also gonna get
So she's weird.
very weird. She's a very weird, obsessive yandere stalker lady, but it's okay and funny because it's just towards the key, no one else. No actual person gets hurt in this. Yep. Yay! I gotta show Biken for the audience. Everybody loves this girl and her 2 massive personalities.
I'm shapeless.
Yeah, she's got 2 major reasons. 2 gigantic reasons why people love her.
Exactly. The worst part
I
is
think we all know.
she didn't originally look like that. She got changed to be horny bait.
Well,
But I'm also not complaining because genuinely, it's a really good design. Bonk! No, I'm bonk.
she's kind of like a female version of that one orc dude from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, which I know might be a really niche reference that you might not
It
know.
is definitely a reference I don't know. Despite me playing, you know, the anime fighting game, I don't watch anime.
Yeah.
Yep.
We gotta get you on. We gotta get you on some anime.
Definitely, I would be down.
Let's see. What should we start you with? I mean, like the easy answer for like show to have you watch to get you into anime. For me, it was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I will always.
I've only seen a bit of the original.
Full Metal Alchemist.
I definitely would be down because I've only seen like the original Full Metal Alchemist.
The original is like, okay, so when I first started watching anime, the first one I ever watched, of course, is Avatar: The Last Airbender, which isn't really an anime, but it's like
it's an anime on technicality, or just not an anime by technicality.
Yeah, it is and isn't on technicalities. It's an anime style, but I was
here.
I was in Yellowstone. This is in 2018. I didn't watch anime until 2018, and since then I've watched a ton of different animes. Like I'm looking at my list right now of ones I've watched.
Yeah.
This list is 86 animes long.
Jesus.
Oops. Plus I'm still watching One Piece, and I'm kind of watching Dragon Ball.
Listen, you're always gonna be watching One Piece. That show's never gonna end. It's gonna eventually become an Italian soap opera.
Well, it's on a 6-month hiatus right now. It's not coming back till April. It's not coming back till April. So, but I was like, I need something to watch on the drive home because we drove out to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And then we had to drive back to Massachusetts. And I was like, I keep hearing about this show, Full Metal Alchemist. Let me check it out. So I watched Full Metal Alchemist, the original one.
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like, well, that was a kind of a weird ending, but that wasn't bad. I like that. And I saw, there's one called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I was like, great, I'll watch that too. And I was like, I liked it. It must be a sequel. So I started watching it, and it restarted the show. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
What the fuck is this?
So after watching Shao Tucker kill his daughter a second time,
I think that was, the dog one. I stopped watching a little after
his daughter with the dog.
Yeah, I stopped watching a little after dog.
Yeah. Which, it's like 5 episodes in, or 6 episodes in, maybe, in the original. After watching it for a second time, I was like, I think this might be a remake. So then I looked it up and I found out that, Full Metal Alchemist was coming out at the same time as the manga. It was not happening at the same time.
It's one of those kind of situations.
So it hit a point where Full Metal Alchemist, the show, caught up with the manga. And so it did that thing that they talked about in Gintama, which is so funny, where it's like, well, sometimes animes hit a point where they gotta spiral around and waste an episode or two
just to let
the show get ahead again. Yeah, so they gotta let it get ahead an episode or two. But some in Gintama they say, I'm probably saying that wrong, but at some points they also just go off and do their own story because it goes on hiatus or something.
Bullshit.
And so Full Metal Alchemist is the second one where the manga went on hiatus, but they didn't go on hiatus, so they just made up their own ending. So then 11 years later they go, well, we should actually do the show again, but do the actual story that the author wanted. So that's how we got Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is awesome. And I liked Full Metal Alchemist. I liked it enough that I was like, I'll watch the sequel. But yeah, I really liked it. So I watched Full Metal Alchemist. I loved it so much that when I got back to school a week later, like we went in like late August.
Yeah.
Like we got home on like the 19th. I went up to school on like the 24th or whatever. Like it was like less than a week later. I finished the show, the entire show. I got up to college and I sat all my friends down, like Kyle and our two other friends.
Made them all watch.
And I was like, we're gonna watch this show together. And they were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
huh? So we watched the show. I sat them down and I said, I need you to give me 6 episodes.
That's all I need.
Yeah. So 6 so I needed them to give me to past Shao Tucker,
Yeah.
and I needed them to give me the first episode with Scar. And I was like, look, I need you to give me 6 episodes. That's 2 hours of your time. I was like, and trust me, this is good.
You will love it.
So I put it on, and they're like, oh, it's anime, and I was like,
Give it a
yes.
minute. Give it a minute.
They're like, you don't watch anime, and I'm like, I know. Trust me. They're like, trust me, this is good. You're gonna want to watch it. So we sat down and we watched it. We watched 15 episodes the first night. It was like 3 in the morning. We're like, we should go to bed. We have we have classes in the morning. And we finished Full Metal Alchemist, I want to say, in about a week and a half. Because we loved it so much. We watched the whole thing. Oh, you just lost to a dolphin.
You're fine. It happens.
It's okay.
Sometimes
Things
dolphins happen.
Yep. But then I said, have you guys ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? And my friends Sam and Kelsey, they're like, yes, we've seen Avatar. It's really good.
Holy
Kyle went, no. And I was like, what do you mean you haven't seen it? He's like, I don't know, I've never seen it. It's like, well, then we gotta go watch it. He didn't like it.
Really? I'm surprised.
Kyle didn't. So Kyle will tell you now that he did like it, but he complained the entirety of season 1 that he didn't like it.
Oh fuck. No, I'm fine. Shimano.
Oops. Yeah, he just straight up didn't like the show. He complained that his biggest complaint about Avatar was that there should be no world in which the Fire Nation is the strongest. And I was like, well, they're the strongest because they have technology, because they can power their... Oh, that's weird.
Double KO. Get.
I'll
take it. We continue. Continue about the Fire Nation.
Yeah, he said like the Fire Nation, like they shouldn't be the strongest because ground should just be. He thought about it in Pokemon logic.
Oh yeah.
Of like, well, ground should be like super strong against all the fire because they can put out the fire with the dirt, and water, of course, extinguishes fire. But the air should be able to just blow out the fire. So why did they? I'm like,
why the fuck did they lose?
He spent the entirety of the first season just complaining about the show.
That's fucking amazing.
But I was like, no, you're gonna watch this. So we sat down, we watched the whole thing. We watched all 6 episodes, and at the end, he was like, yeah, that was pretty good. And I was like, see, you gotta trust me on this.
You gotta
dude.
give it a shot.
You gotta just give it a shot. And now he's like, I really like that. So about a week later, he came. Kyle came back from class because Kyle and I were roommates.
Yeah.
We were in a suite with there were 5 of us. Kyle's my roommate. He lived in the room next to me our freshman year. We were roommates sophomore year. We were good friends at that point. He came in and I was watching Naruto.
Yeah.
So I decided I was going to pick up Naruto.
I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's watch more anime.
I was like, let's watch more anime. Why not? Like I've always heard about it, but I don't know things about it. Let me just watch it. So I started watching Naruto, and he walked in, and I was watching Naruto, and it was the Chunin exams. You haven't seen Naruto, have you?
I've seen 1 episode of Naruto, which I think was like the first episode, and then nothing else after that. I know like 2 things about Naruto.
Okay.
Is that Boruto sucks and Sakura is useless.
Yeah, pretty much. So for people out there who have seen
Naruto, hell no.
Naruto, you know what I'm talking about when I mean the Lee Chunin exam fight.
Oh wait a minute,
Kyle
the one
walked
with, like,
in.
fucking like the sand guy?
Yeah, the one
I've
against
seen
Gaara,
clips of that. One's
where
fucking sick.
Rock Lee takes off this. Now this is my first time watching this too. I hadn't seen this before. He happened to walk in during the fight between Rock Lee and Gaara, and he watched Rock Lee take off the weights off of his ankles and drop them. And Kyle was like, "What is this show?"
What is this fucking peak?
And so it's like October, right? And I'm like, well, this is Naruto. And he's like, interesting. He caught up to me and was like, well, you haven't finished Naruto yet? And I'm like,
No.
no, I got things to
I have
do.
a life.
And he's like, Kyle made me so mad during college because he was. I can't believe I'm talking crap on Kyle. I'm not talking crap on Kyle. I love Kyle.
I know. How
Kyle's
could
my
you do
best.
this?
Kyle's my best friend. He's on all my videos. But Kyle was the type of student where he like wouldn't study, and he would just get A's. And it made me so mad because I would bust my ass and I'd get like at most an A-.
Yeah.
Which was like good enough to like pass, but not good enough to like be in the top class. But this is also the same semester that I was taking my dendrology class, which is the study of trees.
What kind of anime shit is that legitimate? That sounds like something you would do in an anime. I'm sorry to joke about that, but like, that sounds like anime shit, like collecting bugs and shit. Like, who? What psychopath does this?
Yeah. So I got my degree in natural resource management. So I took an entire class where the premise was we walked around campus and we identified trees.
Fair enough.
So every week I had a class Monday and Wednesday in the morning. And then on Wednesday afternoons I had my lab for this class, and I'm not kidding, we would walk around the campus of our school.
Yeah.
And my teacher Dylan would point at trees and go, "What's this tree?" And we would have to
identify.
And we took a quiz every week. And he would point at a tree, go, "What's this tree?" We would have to write down what the tree is and its scientific name. And if we didn't spell them right, we didn't get any credit.
Oh, that's fucked up.
It was horrible.
That's awful.
It was the worst. Not only did you need to identify the tree correctly, which there are like a bunch of ways to do it, and I still don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I got a 70.2 in the class because my professor took pity on me and rounded it up. So I wouldn't have to take it again. Really cool of him. Yeah, like I think I averaged on the quiz. I had to bust my butt in that particular class to like make sure that every quiz I took and every like homework assignment I did was perfect, that I wouldn't lose any points because I was getting at most a 60 on all these quizzes. Like we're going out identifying 15, 20 different trees, and I'm getting a 50 on this quiz.
That ain't good at all.
I just couldn't figure it out. Kyle's taking this class at the same time and didn't study once for it. And he got an 88 in the class.
Gee, that's fucked up.
He didn't study. I'm convinced I never saw this dude study for this class.
Open a single notebook.
Now, his lab was after mine. So like they were back-to-back labs, like at 12:30 and then at 2:30. So he went after me, so maybe he was studying during that time. But every time I got back to my classroom at 2 o'clock, or back to our dorm at 2 o'clock, he was playing Roblox or watching Naruto.
Hell yeah. Roblox and Naruto.
He was either playing Roblox or watching Naruto.
Champions.
I'm like, did you study? And I like walk in, I'm fresh off of a 45, right?
Yeah.
Like a 45% on like this quiz grade. And I walk in, he's playing, and he's like, "How did it go?" I snapped my clipboard over my knee one day when I got back to my class. Ooh. I was so, like, 7 weeks in a row of getting below a 50 on a quiz will do that to you. Like,
yeah. When it's just like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Why is this not just thinking in my brain?
Like, why can't I understand this at a basic level?
Yeah.
Like, almost every time, like the scientific name spelling was never a problem for me. It was associating the scientific name with the common name and identifying the plant itself.
Oh yeah, Disney's in the game now.
So it was always like, okay, did I figure out what tree this is? No. All right, so I got both parts wrong.
Yep.
Did I figure out what tree it is? Yes. Do I remember the scientific name for it? No, half off.
Of course. Oh, and I misspelled it as well? Nothing.
And if I happen to misspell it, didn't get it either. It's just it was the worst. Oh my god, I hated that class. But oh my god, like walking into my dorm room and seeing Kyle watching Naruto
It's just like,
instead of studying, and then he would go out and he'd come back and he'd go, "Oh, that was easy." I was like, "I'm going to beat you up."
I'm going to smack this clipboard over your head next time. This is gonna be fun. I've not fought Dizzy and Strive at all yet.
You haven't fought this character
I
yet?
have not fought this character once.
Well, I think you're doing pretty well.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god,
That would drive me up a fucking
my undergrad
wall.
made me so mad, like all the time. I was always pissed off in that, because so after I took that class, the dendrology class, I had to take 2 more classes in the spring.
Oh yeah, she is my.
One was forest measurements, and one was fire and wildlife fire conservation or whatever. Which was actually a really cool class. I liked that class a lot. It was a classroom-based class with the same teacher. It was all about wildfire and its ecological uses, as well as like the effects of wildfire on forests. It was a really cool class. I really liked that class. But the forest measurements class we walked around the woods
Again.
near the campus, and we had to use our little tools, like a prism, to measure how tall or wide or a tree was from like a distance, and then like create like a plot of like, here's all the trees that would be big enough to be lumbered, and and what that nice back tilt.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nice. Just down
So my whole class didn't do well on that one.
Yeah,
Kyle was in that class with me again. Kyle hated that class.
good. Hey, I'll help the other one.
Because we would our final project, right, was we had to walk around no, not our final project. This was right before spring break. We had to do a project where we had to go walk around the woods. It's snowing. It's snowy, by the way.
Oh no.
And we were all told we had a 1 square mile of land behind the woods.
Yeah.
We had to go plot the entirety of the woods
Jesus fucking no. No.
to go get a sense for how much wood is back here that could be lumbered.
That's ridiculous. Oh yeah, we do fight Alpha for her story.
However, the whole class did it wrong
Oh no.
because he didn't explain it to us right.
Oh, it's one of those.
So we all did the whole project and we all submitted it. Like all 15 of us that are in this class, we're in groups of 3.
Yep.
Every single group submitted it and we all had it completely wrong. We just didn't understand like what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't explained well. And he lost his mind on us and told us, "Fine. If you guys are going to not pay attention." Oh, he was the
fucking shitty teacher is what it sounds like.
Yeah, he knew forestry, but he was not a good teacher. At least in like his explanation of things.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, so now you're gonna all do it again, and it's due Friday, and it's Wednesday, by the way.
Of course.
He goes, but because I understand some of you might go to the dean about this, and we're like, Jesus Christ. I'll shorten your plot length. So we only had to do, I think, like a 1 square eighth mile, like one eighth of a square mile instead. So we had to we had way less that we had to go do. And he's like, if you get it wrong this time, then I don't care. You will fail this assignment, which is worth 40% of your grade on the term. We're like, this was our midterm, basically. Yeah. I was like, oh my god. Thankfully, the second time around, we got it right.
Yeah.
But like Those are the only two there were 3 classes that I got below an 80 in college, and 2 of them were with this teacher. And he was also my academic advisor.
Oh, of course, that's even better.
Right? 'Cause he's the head of the forestry department.
Yeah.
At the end of that semester, at the end of my sophomore year, I went to his office. And I knocked on his door, and it's like right after midterm, right after I took the midterm for his class.
Yeah.
So I walk in, and he's assuming that I'm about to talk to him about the midterm that I just took for fire or whatever, forest measurements maybe. And he's like, "What?" I go, "So I wanted to talk to you about because I'm really starting to think that maybe I want to change out of the forestry track and go into the interpretation, because my degree was specifically parks and forest resource management."
Yeah.
And originally I was in the natural resources management track on
Okay.
it, which was like forestry and natural resources. The other side though was interpretation, which was for like effective communication and like being a park ranger basically. My plan all along was that I was going to be a park ranger.
Yeah.
This is like the Ethan Lore story.
I was gonna say we're getting Ethan Lore while Guilty Gear's happening.
Yeah,
you know
Ethan
what?
Lore
I will
during
take it.
Guilty Gear.
That's fucking perfect.
We started by talking about Full Metal
It's
Alchemist.
talking about anime, which is the Evolve, and you know what? I'm here for
Yeah.
it. This is the peak
Yeah.
commentary. Get the fuck off me.
So I went to my advisor and I said to him, I'm really starting to think that maybe the force track's not for me. I struggled a lot during both dendro and forest measurements, and as much as I liked fire a lot, but I look ahead and I see that having so much trouble in dendro, it might be a problem for me
Yeah.
in future classes. So I'm thinking I might switch over to the interpretation track. And without looking up from his computer, he goes, "That's probably a good idea."
Ah, God damn!
And I'm like, "Bruh,
What the fuck?
why are you mean?"
How rude.
I was hoping he'd be like, "Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. I understand. Let's get the process going." He didn't even like offer to like help switch me over.
Nope, he's just like, yeah, good luck.
So instead, all along I've been taking classes also for the interpretation side, because my degree is like basically you take the same classes up until the end of your sophomore year and then you split.
Yeah.
So I went to the other guy, Tom, and I was like, "Hey, we finished."
Yep, there we go.
Like,
That's Guilty Gear.
I explained to him like, "Well, this is the conversation I just had with Dylan. I was thinking I want to switch over to interpretation," and he goes, "Great, sounds great. Let's do the paperwork right now."
Let's do it. Sign yourself up.
And I was like, "Thank you, Tom." And he's like, "Well," he said to me, "Well, if you're going to be in my track," because he's the interpretation teacher, "if you're going to be in my track, we should probably also go through the process of having you switched over to be under my guys or under my my watch." I was like, "That's probably a good idea."
Probably a good idea.
So then we switched him over. So Tom became Tom, awesome. He came and visited us during COVID
Ooh.
because he came and visited all of us in 2020 at our parks that we were working at. If we were working at a park, we emailed him. We said, "Hey, I'm working here." He came and checked in on us to be like, "How's it going? Do you need any advice?" So like 2020, I was a fresh park ranger at my park, and he came and drove down from Maine and came visited. Checked out the park. I showed him around. This is like June of 2020, peak COVID. Which was really cool. He's he's still alive. He's awesome. I miss Tom every day.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing well. Why does he have an afro?
That was one of Faust's gimmicks. Just fucking around, letting you finish your story. Yep, just puts
Sick.
an afro on you. And you know what the best part is? It extends your hurt box, so you get hit by it. And you can also make it explode.
Sick.
That was just fucking amazing. I love this character.
That was a fun character.
That's the takeaway. Try Guilty Gear if you get a chance. It's really fun.
Anime Fighter.
Indeed. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.